What's up, Texas Rangers fans? Welcome back to another video on the Texas Rangers Report. And today we're going into another prospect preview for the 2022 season. I've already done the number one overall prospect for the Rangers, Jack Leiter. I talked about him. And I've already done the number two overall prospect, Josh Young. Let me know in the comments if you guys are liking these videos. If you want me to do more, and if you guys do want more, I'll do Justin Foscue next, and Sam Huff, etc., etc. And also, since free agency is coming, off season is coming, what videos do you want me to make? Trade videos, from free agency, rumor videos, etc., etc. Just let me know in the comment section down below, and I'll most likely make the video. So, Cole Winn, drafted him back in 2018 in the first round and out of high school, so he's still only 21 years old. And in case if you've been living under a rock, he played really well this year in the minor leagues. He played mostly at AA Frisco, and it was under limited innings. A lot of the Rangers were under limited innings this year in the minors, and even in the majors, like Dane Dunning, Taylor Hearn, a few other guys. They were on limited innings. So was Cole Winn. I'll always be looking at the box scores. He would pitch like 3 innings, 4 innings. But he was one of the Texas Rangers' future All-Stars this year. But don't let that game fool you. Usually it doesn't mean too much. I remember when C.D. Pelham was in it for the Rangers. I don't even think he's on in an MLB organization right now. But don't let it... since I said that, don't let it think that Cole Winn isn't a good prospect. So I recently just made my starting 5, or predicting the starting rotation for the Rangers. And if we're being honest, Cole Winn does have a chance to make the starting rotation right out of spring training. But do I think he will be that guy that comes in as the 5th starter in the rotation? No, I don't, because he played at yes, he did play at AAA last year. But that was a limited experience. I think it was 1 or 2 starts. And I just don't think that the Rangers want to start his time clock yet. Obviously, like, it's a long ways away. A lot of things are a long ways away. Like, I could talk about the MLB draft right now. I could talk about future World Series predictions for 2022, but a lot of things are a long ways away. We need to see how his spring training goes. First of all, we need to see if he stays healthy. We had a lot of expectations last year about Josh Young and Sam Huff, and then they both got injured in spring training. So, God willing, Cole Winn stays healthy in spring training, and then he performs well, because then he can actually make an argument to make the rotation. But let it be known, he isn't on the 40-man roster. Even though the Rangers' active roster isn't extremely talented, they would have to designate somebody for assignment, trade somebody, something of that nature to clear a 40-man spot. And yes, it's not that talented, but the Rangers still want to, what's the word? They still want to see what they have in some of their lower tier players, like a Dennis Santana, Josh Sports, those type of guys, or maybe if it comes down to like an Andy Ibanez, Nick Solak, Yanni Hernandez, like, even though those guys may not be like all-stars or maybe starters, maybe they're a bench player, and if you get rid of them right now for Cole Winn, then you may never know. And that's why, even if he does play well in spring training, if you start him out at AAA for a month or 2, it can never hurt, because then maybe somebody gets injured, a starting pitcher gets injured, you throw him on the 60-day IL, and then you call up Cole Winn, because, I mean, after this year, he will need to be added to the 40-man, so it does make sense that he makes his big league debut sometime later this year. I just don't think it comes out of spring training. But what do you guys think? Do you think he will start the year at AAA, the majors. I don't think it's anything lower than that. That would be something bad would have happened if that were the case. And if that were the case, he's probably doing a rehab assignment. But in my opinion, I think he starts at AAA, and they give it some time. I know a lot of not newer fans, but just some fans in general aren't fans of holding players in the minor leagues to start their time clock later. And there's pros and cons to that. Obviously, you want the player to be playing in the majors, helping the team win games, but also you got to think about the long-term effects. You want the player to be in the organization for a longer period of time, and you wouldn't have to pay him. He wouldn't hit free agency until a later period, so you'd have him in the organization longer, and you wouldn't have to pay him as much, so you can spend on guys like a Carlos Correa, Kevin Gausman, Kyle Schwarber, those type of guys. I just made a video about my wish list, and those guys are some of my wish lists for this year. But getting back to Cole Winn, I do expect him to not be like dominant. I do think he has top of the line stuff. But if you're expecting like a whip below 1, a ERA in the 1s at AAA, that's just insane, because I mean, AAA is no slouch of competition, because you have top prospects, you have players that have reached the majors but aren't that great for the majors, so they go to AAA. What do you think? 2 questions. Where do you think Cole Winn will start the year, and how do you think he will perform? Say he starts in the majors, or if he starts down in AAA. Let me know what you guys think. Personally, I think he'll go to AAA Round Rock, and I do expect him to perform well like he did last year, but I do expect that the Rangers will let the leash go a little bit on his innings to build up his arm or as a starter. Hopefully that does not lead to Tommy John like many other pitchers in the organization. But I do feel confident about this, the way that this organization is going. And hopefully Cole Winn can stay healthy this year and pitch well. But that just about wraps up this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up down below. And subscribe to the Texas Rangers Report. Become your #1 source for all things Rangers on YouTube. And with that being said, I'll see you on the next one. Peace.